Regular programming will not be seen at this time. Please stay tuned for the following special program.
Two times this decade, Fairport has robbed McQuaid of a sectional football championship. In 1984 and again in '85, Fairport did the celebrating in November. But this is March. The game is basketball, and McQuaid and Fairport will meet again. McQuaid is steady, losing only to East. They also beat the Orientals twice. Fairport also plays a disciplined type of game. Undefeated this year, Coach Jeff Fitch has the top seed for the first time in his 19 seasons. It is Fairport and McQuaid on the basketball court tonight. A NewsCenter 13 Sports exclusive. Live from the Rochester War Memorial, it's the 1987 Section 5 AAA Basketball Championship game. The Red Raiders of Fairport take on the McQuaid Jesuit Knights. Tonight's game is brought to you by Columbia Banking, where 4% IRA loans are available, and by Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers Restaurants. The atmosphere is something like that of a big-time college basketball game. A large crowd on hand at the War Memorial for the AAA sectional final between McQuaid and Fairport. Welcome to the broadcast. We are expecting a great game tonight. I'm Doug Emblidge along with Edison Tech coach Dick O'Toole, and we see two disciplined ball clubs here, but there certainly should be a heck of a ball game, Coach.
This shapes up to be a real good ball game. Both teams earn the right to be here. They've played consistent basketball. I look for a real close game.
Okay, we've got to talk. We mentioned the word discipline. We've got to talk about a player for Fairport who is really the epitome of that word, a point guard named Brian Keenan.
Brian Keenan is the player that makes Fairport go. They need him in the lineup. He handles the ball, he runs the break, he dishes the ball off. He likes to go into that middle, dish it off, or go for that French pastry type play. He can make it happen for Fairport. They need him.
There's a guy that he will be looking to feed the ball to who can match up well against McQuaid inside. His name is Kyle Reed.
Kyle Reed is just a hard worker. I don't think you can say anything more. He's your blue-collar type player. He loves to play in the paint. He backs down from no one. Whatever he gets, he earns. You know, he's as good as some of your 6'8" players, only he's only a 6'4" man.
When we talk about McQuaid, we have to talk about the guys who you read a lot about. Glenn Taggart, the speedy guard. We talk about Greg Woodard, a guy who gets things done, gets a lot of points on the board quietly. But there's other keys to this game, including Mike Holton.
Mike Holton, I think, has had an excellent year running the McQuaid offense. He's taken the pressure off of Glenn Taggart handling the ball. He's run the offense. He's found the primetime players such as Woodard and Taggart. He's handled the pressure. He's going to be a key for McQuaid against Fairport's defense.
And possibly, certainly an award-winning player of some kind for McQuaid this year. A tall man in the middle, Scott Martzloff, playing his first year of organized basketball after an injury last year.
Scott's had an excellent year for a young man who's had to have a year off, coming back as he has this year. He's played well. I think he's been a real plus. He's made teams play on his defense in the middle, and it's helped out Taggart and Woodard and Holton to allow them to score more than maybe they would had teams been able to maybe double team or play special defenses.
Now the leader of these two teams, Jeff Fitch, in his 19th season at Fairport, his first time as the #1 seed. He's been here before. And then on the McQuaid bench, a guy named Joe Marchese in his first year as a coach for the Knights.
No question, Jeff's a veteran. He's been here before. He knows what it takes to get his team ready to play in this type of a ball game. I'm sure that Fairport's going to be ready. And McQuaid, even though this is Joe's first year, playing in the City Catholic League, there's just no easy games. So game in and game out, you got to have your team prepared. So even though this is Joe's first time in with his ball club, I think they'll be ready.
East has played, McQuaid had to play East 3 times this year. They're coming off now a big win over East to get here. Is there the possibility of a letdown against a team like Fairport that some say is not strong enough to beat tonight?
Well, there's always that possibility, but I think the kids realize that once they get here, they say one last time, they got to go out there and give it their best. You know, they know East High was a big game, but they know it was just one more step they had to take to get to this game, and this is the game they really wanted.
You know, it's funny, you talk about somebody getting a lack of respect. The Fairport Red Raiders, they earned the top seed playing AAA basketball, and not only that, they did it and they went undefeated. And here's a team they're talking about not getting enough respect.
You're right, Doug. Fairport hasn't got much publicity during the year, probably because they haven't had the matchups maybe out in their league. But you don't win 21 games by accident, so that alone should tell you that Fairport has got a very good ball club, and they're here to play too.
The black and gold of McQuaid's fans on one side of the War Memorial, the red and white of Fairport's on the other. A great atmosphere, a good crowd at the War Memorial, and we are set for a great basketball game, and we will be back right after this. Welcome back. Doug Emblidge along with Coach Dick O'Toole here at the War Memorial, and we are set for a great game. You know, it's interesting that McQuaid had to play East twice during the regular season, as they would in the City Catholic League, and then it comes down to the semifinal game between those two teams, Dick.
Well, you know, and as far as sectional pairings, you know, you could wind up playing a team a third time. It's just how your record is and how the draw falls. So you have really no control over it, but it was a good matchup, and I think with the team splitting during the season, the third game made for great interest between McQuaid and Fairport, as well as the rest of the leagues around the area.
There were over 7,000 here at the War Memorial for that game, as you'll recall, Dick. We want to trace the route to the final game for both these teams, and let's do that right now. This is the road to the finals. Fairport was the top seed in AAA and began the trip to the finals with a great free throw shooting performance and an easy win over Irondequoit. In the Red Raiders' second game, they never trailed, and Fairport beat Brockport by 13. Next, a win Fairport coach Jeff Fitch called ugly. It was a win nonetheless over Gates Chili. Guard Brian Keenan had 20 points, and Fairport entered the finals sluggishly. McQuaid began the tournament knowing a third meeting with East was probable, but there was work to be done before that could happen. An easy win over Brighton was the first step. Then came the game that was almost the roadblock, a spunky performance by Webster. Glenn Taggart scored 20 for the Knights, but they had to thank their lucky stars as Webster faltered at the free throw line late in the game. So the showdown was set. McQuaid's rubber match with East. The Orientals without hot shooter Dave Rizzo, while McQuaid had everything working. Tom Veltz was even right on with the old shoot by the seat of your pants play, and McQuaid had earned the right to return to the War Memorial. It is said there are only a few things you can count on in the course of your lifetime, and you can count on every year a great Section 5 basketball tournament. For 66 years running now, this has provided excitement for Rochester basketball fans every March, and one of the men responsible, the man most responsible right now, is Section 5 basketball chairman Gene Johnson. Gene, another great year.
Well, thanks, Doug. If you happen to be lucky and you get the right matchups, it makes for a wonderful tournament.
It certainly does. You had McQuaid and East in there. You didn't plan that by any chance, did you?
Well, if we were able to plan it, they'd probably be beating tonight.
How do you account for it, the success year after year? This is a high school basketball tournament. College tournaments have had to suffer some in this town, but this tournament brings them out every year.
Well, I think it's because so many people are involved. Section 5 has 120 schools, so that's a lot of communities, and everybody's interested in their kids and how they're doing.
Well, congratulations, and we look forward to doing this again with you next year, Gene.
Thanks, Doug. We're looking forward. Thanks for your help.
All right, thank you. Gene Johnson, the chairman of Section 5 basketball, and we are going to be back with our starting lineups in just a moment. We want to take a moment now to meet the two teams, the Fairport Red Raiders and the McQuaid Knights, competing here for the Section 5 AAA Championship. Earlier this week, we sent Mike Adine out to the schools, Dick O'Toole, to meet the players and tell us about both teams.
The McQuaid Knights are co-champions of the City Catholic League. They come into the game with a 20-1 record. They're making their second appearance in the Section 5 finals.
The last time we were in the sectional final was in 1981 when Tom Sheehy was a sophomore, and so it's been 6 years, and we're real happy to be here.
McQuaid is led by guard Glenn Taggart. The slick senior averages just under 22 points a game by hitting 61% from the field and 70% from the line. He's the guy they go to when they need points. And the guy that gives Taggart the ball is point guard Mike Holton. He runs the offense. Holton doesn't score a lot, just about 8 points a game, but he dishes out almost 9 assists. Up front, the Knights have size. Scott Martzloff is in the middle. The 6'11 junior is in just his first season of basketball, but averages 12 points a game. He controls the boards with a rebounding average of just over 8, most of them at the defensive end. Greg Woodard is the other scoring ace. The junior forward puts in 17 points a game and averages a team-high 9 rebounds each game. The other starter is Tom Veltz, not a big scorer with an average of 5 points a game, not a bad rebounder averaging 4.5 each outing, but his strong point is defense as he's come up with 27 steals during the regular season. The Fairport Red Raiders come in as the top seed, unbeaten, 22-0, champions of the Monroe County League's Eastern Division. The Red Raiders are making their third appearance in the sectional finals, seeking their second championship, and they're glad all the hype is over between East and McQuaid.
Certainly they know we're a quality team and one that can play, but now they of course can focus on us, and now that one of them are out, so it makes it for it should be a nice matchup, and I think the kids are ready.
It's a 3-guard offense used by Fairport. Brian Keenan is the leader with a 20-point average, but he also gives out about 4.5 assists each game. Brian Vance has a 12-point average, but also hauls down 4 rebounds from his guard position. Todd Hallett is the other member of the backcourt. He has an 8 points per game average, but leads Fairport in assists with an average of 5.5 each game. Up front, the Red Raiders are small compared to McQuaid. 6'4" Greg Portland, a 7-point average per game. He also averages 4.5 rebounds and 1.5 blocks. The front-line workhorse is Kyle Reed. The 6'4" senior has a 16 points per game average, but also controls the boards, bringing down 13 rebounds, and he'll be the guy Fairport will count on to stop McQuaid's Scott Martzloff. Those are your starting lineups. Now back to Doug Emblidge.
Thank you, Mike. Dick O'Toole, we got a crowd behind us making a lot of noise.
It's a great crowd. You know, you look in here and you look on the one side, you got the red and white of Fairport, and the other side, the black and gold of McQuaid. It's just like a big-time college game.
And we're getting ready for the big-time college game between two high school teams. We'll be back to the War Memorial right after this. We are back at the Rochester War Memorial, getting ready for the championship game in Section 5 Class AAA. Doug Emblidge along with Coach Dick O'Toole. I guess one of the things that Jeff Fitch has going for him at Fairport, Coach, is continuity. He can work with them at the 7th grade level. He knows who his ball players are going to be, and he's really worked that to his advantage over his 19 years at Fairport.
This is right, Doug. I think most coaches are envious of the type of program that Jeff has. He can start to get them prepared in that young age and work their way up, and by the time they get to his level, they have a very, very solid skill background, and that's not true in all programs. So I think that's a real plus for the Fairport basketball program.
Now Fairport and McQuaid have not met this year, but they did both play Webster, and Webster on occasion gave both teams a very tight game.
Webster's a good ball club. They're always right up there contending for that County East title, and they do well in the sectionals. So it doesn't surprise me that Webster played both these teams tough. And I wouldn't have been a major upset had they'd won either.
They didn't meet in the regular season. They did meet in summer scrimmages, so these guys have seen each other before.
they are familiar. A lot of them are friends from the neighborhoods that they live in, and they get together, as you said, in the summer leagues, go to the rec centers, even in basketball camps. So, you know, there's some friendships there, although, you know, once that ball stops up, you know, McQuaid wants to win, Fairport wants to win.
Put yourself for a moment, Coach Dick O'Toole, in the position of your colleagues. First of all, you're Jeff Fitch from Fairport. What have you just told your players as far as last-minute strategy?
I think he wants them to, you know, come out, play the game that they've been playing all year. Do not be intimidated by McQuaid's size or the fact that maybe McQuaid has gotten a lot of publicity in terms of their playing East High. Come out, play our game. We got here because we played good basketball. Let's not change it right now.
We use the words disciplined, we use the words controlled, maybe too much, but it certainly speaks for both these teams.
Both teams are controlled teams. You very rarely see either of these clubs playing out of control, and I think that's a tribute to the coaches and, of course, to their leading point guards, Mike Holton and Brian Keenan.
Mike Holton's job for McQuaid, he's got a lot of guns to go to. He's got a lot of choices to make when he's standing at the top looking for a guy to get the ball into if they chose to go inside. He's got a lot of ways he can go.
This is true. Mike has a little bit easier, I think, than Brian Keenan, because Brian handles the ball quite a bit. Where Mike can come down and he can look for that big man inside Martzloff, or he's got the quick Taggart who can go baseline jumper or wing, and he's got Greg Woodard who can play all over the floor. He's that good a ball player. And then if you lay off on him, he'll pop that jumper from the top of the key. So, you know, you can't figure him as a non-shooter.
Maybe a sign of the heart between these two schools, or that at least McQuaid has. Came in the game against East. Tom Veltz knocked on his back under the basket, puts up the shot, and it goes in. It was that kind of night when McQuaid plays East last week.
It was a big-time play. It was one of those plays that you make, you know, when you're determined to get that ball and do something. Hard work made that play.
They are introducing the officials for tonight's game. The team introductions have been done, and we will meet the officials for tonight's game at this time. The referee tonight, Larry Tripato, and our umpire, Dick Kerwin.
Two veteran officials. They've been here before. Both of them had AAA finals.
We are just about to get underway with what should be a very exciting game. I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching Brian Keenan work for Fairport. Glenn Taggart, if we can follow him because he's so quick, should be a spark for McQuaid. Scott Martzloff will tip it off, jump it for Fairport, or rather for McQuaid. Against number 50, Kyle Reed. He's listed as a forward, but he is the man in the middle for Fairport.
They got Woodard jumping instead.
Greg Woodard jumping for Martzloff. Woodard certainly the healthier knees of the two players there. And Fairport wins the tip. That's Brian Keenan doing the work right now. And he takes the shot, the first of the game. It's no good.
There's a big block by Martzloff. That's that aircraft carrier you have in the middle.
Greg Portland had the rebound, but he couldn't get it beyond Martzloff, and that's one of the things Scott Martzloff has done so well this year. Here's the little general, the man who runs the offense for McQuaid, Mike Holton.
Fairport's open up in man-to-man here, which kind of surprises me. I thought they'd be a zone team tonight. But looks like Coach Fitch wants to go right at him.
Glenn Taggart's jumper missed. Brian Keenan down with a rebound, and he tries to get Fairport on the board here early in the championship game.
McQuaid's playing their standard man-to-man.
Keenan again with the ball in the corner, brings it back around, tries to get things going. Shots haven't been falling. I would guess there are a few nerves out there. Greg Portland feeds it underneath to Brian Keenan. And the rolls of toilet paper fly in the crowd. None made it to the court.
It was nice movement by Keenan. Passed the ball off and then came weak side underneath the basket, received the return pass, put it up for the layup.
Greg Woodard just loses it out of bounds for McQuaid. Fairport brings it back, and there's Brian Keenan going to work. You will hear his name an awful lot tonight, and for good reason. Some debris made it down onto the court. And we will inbound it for Fairport here, Coach.
Nothing is to be thrown onto the court.
The warning coming from the public address announcer, as he does every game, about throwing things onto the court. I don't think you're going to see a lot of trouble with sportsmanship from the crowd from either of these schools tonight. There's Brian Keenan with a beautiful move. Draws the foul as Martzloff rejected the shot.
That's twice now that Keenan's gone down low after passing off. He's cut through, gone down low on the box. We see his return pass, taking that ball up.
That's his first team foul.
Todd Hallett will inbound it for Fairport.
There's the replay. You can see Keenan going up for the shot and being fouled.
Brian Vance with the ball over to Todd Hallett. Hallett back to Keenan. Keenan's jumper is no good, but he gets his own rebound. He's underneath for the score. 4-0. The Red Raiders.
Nice hustle by Brian Keenan. Fouled up his shot. McQuaid didn't get the block out that they wanted on him.
Mike Holton looking for one of his big guns. There's Glenn Taggart, the speedy other guard for McQuaid. He can move, and when they go on the fast break, you got to watch him fly. There's Martzloff, not comfortable dribbling the ball a lot. And there's Taggart moving off the glass. It's no good. The rebound, number 50, Kyle Reed, the workhorse in the middle.
He loves that paint.
Out ahead to Brian Vance and back to Keenan. He is a strong, intimidating player inside. Kyle Reed for Fairport. Fairport. Todd Hallett with a jumper from the corner, and Fairport has jumped out to a 6-0 lead here.
That was a nice touch by Hallett. Received the ball, squared up to the basket. Good release.
That's Greg Woodard from the corner. His shot doesn't go. Another Fairport board. Mike Keenan way up. Feeds underneath the 42, Craig Portland, and the shot goes.
That basket's
and
good.
There's a foul. The basket will count.
McQuaid's taking time out here. They're a little bit rattled.
Fairport jumps out to an 8-0 lead. The foul on number 32, Scott Martzloff. We're going to look at that again, Coach.
That's the replay. They just hustled Martzloff. A little late in getting down there. He might have laid off, but he went for the block. Instead, he got the man.
We mentioned those nerves. McQuaid comes out there 0 for 3 shooting from the field so far. Fairport shooting a 50-50, 4 for 8.
Everything else is okay. They may come out into a zone. If they do, we really got to be patient, but we're going to take the good shot. All right? We still got to get back. Some of you are a little slow getting back. Turn around and see where they are at least. You get past half court, turn around and see where they are. Swing it around. Drive the slots. They're still taking it to them. You're doing a good job that way. Challenge them. That's good.
Did you hear Jeff Fitch say we still got to take it to them? There's an aggressive feeling on the Fairport bench coming out against a team that, well, as you said, they're matching up man-to-man right off the bat.
Well, I think, Coach Fitch just wants to go at him and test the waters. He doesn't want to back off. He doesn't want to let McQuaid try to intimidate his players in any way, such as blocking shots or clearing that rebounding.
Greg Portland will go to the line for Fairport with one shot to convert the three-pointer. 8-0 Fairport. 5:16 left in the first. And his shot, Hallett's shot, is good. Rather, Portland. McQuaid yet to score. That's Greg Woodard. He will score some points tonight. He's got to get it going. Glenn Taggart back to Holton. There's Scott Martzloff. Shot doesn't fall, but the foul is on Brian Keenan. His first, and the team's first.
Not a particularly good foul for Brian Keenan to get. You got the big man getting the ball outside. You'd like him to shoot from out there. You don't really want to reach in. That's not the kind of foul coaches like to see.
Martzloff misses the front end of the two shots. And we'll have another one to make it 10-0. Rather make it 9-1. Here's Brian Keenan, 4 points already tonight, 3 rebounds, 1 assist.
He's hustling. He's playing very hard tonight. Whether or not he can keep that same intensity up for the entire ball game.
That's Todd Hallett, the senior, 6'2".
They're on a roll now. They got the feeling. They feel good.
11-0 McQuaid in a position that it hasn't found itself in a lot this year, down early. They're not down and scoreless anymore. Greg Woodard just cans that one and make it 11-2 with 4 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first. Brian Keenan unloads, and it's good, all net.
They put that high post up there. Keenan dribbles off that post and squares up. Nice jump shot.
Mike Holden.
Mike Holden's going to have to fight over that pick.
Woodard again, 2 in a row for him, and he gets the Knights rolling finally here, Coach.
That's 2 nice shots by Greg Woodard. Nice soft touch, good release.
Well, the shots have finally started falling for McQuaid. They find themselves down by 9. Greg Woodard 2 for 3, including his last 2 trips down the court. He has scored for McQuaid. Mike Holton to Woodard in the corner. He drives, and the layup will not go. But he is fouled.
Good move. He gives a nice pump fake with the ball. Gets his man up in the air. Goes by and gets fouled.
We're going to see it again, and Brian Vance will get a piece. Number 14 right there is called with a foul on Woodard, and Woodard's at the line. And he makes the first one.
Nice soft touch.
And he makes them both. As we said at the outset, a quiet player who will light up the scoreboard.
We got a little half-court trap here, 1-2-2 by McQuaid.
Greg Woodard has all 6 points for McQuaid now. That's Brian Keenan moving in with a nice move. No call. Glenn Taggart, speedy Glenn Taggart tries to go coast to coast. And there's a blocking foul on Fairport. Todd Hallett. Taggart making things happen with his speed on the coast-to-coast attempt.
Very quick.
We're going to look at it again.
There was no question he was going to go to the hoop on this play.
Taggart again. Over to Woodard. Woodard drives. A basket falls. And the foul is on Brian Keenan. A turn in momentum. It is suddenly 13-6 and the possibility of 13-8.
Woodard has a real feel for the game now. They want to get the ball into his hands. He seems to be the guy that's going to bring him back into this game.
And at any moment, as we mentioned, so many big guns from McQuaid, anyone else can get hot, and Fairport has to be worried about that, guarding against it at all times. Brian Keenan with the ball for Fairport, and he traveled. Not a lot of pressure there. Not the kind of mistake we're accustomed to seeing by Brian Keenan.
No, I think he just got a little relaxed here. There wasn't any pressure.
2 fouls on Brian Keenan early, as well as that.
That could be a factor.
There's Glenn Taggart with a jumper, and it's good. 13-11, McQuaid has cut the Fairport lead to 2. That's Brian Vance with the ball for the Red Raiders. Back out to Keenan. Keenan to Hallett. Hallett tries to make the pass inside to Kyle Reed. Gets through his hands, and McQuaid with a chance to tie the game for the first time since 0-0. Coach Jeff Fitch on the sideline for Fairport has seen a large lead disappear early. We've got 2:27 left in the first. Mike Holton with a shot. It goes in and out. The tip doesn't work, and Brian Vance comes down with a rebound. Brian Keenan pushing it up for Fairport. Through 2 players, and up, it's no good, and the rebound by Martzloff, the big man for McQuaid.
Nice rebound by Martzloff.
Woodard thought about it, did not take the shot. Holton barking out some orders to his crew. There's Martzloff, the big man outside, and Glenn Taggart. His shot is good again.
Taggart gets hot. Another weapon for McQuaid.
And we have a timeout, Fairport. Now, Brian Keenan, after being 50-50, is 3 for 8 from the field. He's missed his last 3 shots. We're going to take a break. Dick O'Toole and Doug Emblidge at the War Memorial. We will be back. We are back where the score is tied at 13 with 1:47 left to go. Here in the first quarter, McQuaid has rolled off the last 7 points, a turn in momentum, Coach.
That's right. Ever since Coach Joe Marchese took that timeout when they were down, they've responded, and now they've come back and tied. We'll see what kind of effect the timeout Fairport has just taken will have on their club. I think you may see a change in Fairport's defense.
Keenan leads Fairport with 6 points so far. It is Woodard out in front for McQuaid with 8. Fairport with the ball. Brian Keenan to Brian Vance, back to Keenan.
McQuaid settled into a 2-3 zone now.
Brian Vance. That's Todd Hallett feeding Kyle Reed. He tries to take it up, and he is muscled down. The foul is called.
Excellent pass inside. Reed knows what to do with it once he gets it. Right to that basket.
Fouls on Greg Woodard, his first of the game. McQuaid's third. Here you'll see it again.
There's the replay. Nice entry pass. Reed takes it right to the hole, gets fouled. Excellent play.
Okay, Reed misses the first. Score still tied at 13 with 1.5 minutes left in the first. And Kyle Reed, the big man in the middle for Fairport. Big, more than tall.
Nice touch by the big man.
That broke the tie. Mike Holton brings it up for McQuaid.
Hey, Fairport's still staying in their man-to-man. I thought they might switch.
There's Taggart. That shot didn't go, but the rebound's hauled down nicely by Tom Veltz, and he scores off the bound of the Glenn Taggart shot to make it 15-14, the Knights.
Those are 2 points just by hustle.
Brian Keenan. He'll run the offense for Fairport almost all night. He's a good man to have the ball. I asked Jeff Fitch about that. A miss by Brian Vance, and it is McQuaid's ball.
Good baseline move, but he couldn't finish it off at the end.
Mike Holton, number 12, with the ball for McQuaid. Woodard feeds Martzloff. Martzloff tries to get up, can't catch it back out. There's Woodard with the lean in, and it goes in and out and back in again, and McQuaid is up by 3. 30 seconds left in the first period. Brian Vance back out from Fairport. Todd Hallett with the ball over to Keenan.
Fairport very patient in their half-court offense.
Going for the last shot, and the pass inside misses everybody apparently, and they call it McQuaid ball. With 14 seconds left, it's 17-14 the Knights. Mike Holton working with 8 seconds to go. Looking to go up by 5. There's Glenn Taggart with a shot, and it's good. That will do it in the first.
Nice shot by Taggart. Keenan's with the 2 fouls. He's playing him a little soft, allowing Taggart to get that jumper off. He doesn't want to pick up that third. I think Coach Fitch is going to have to change defense to put a new man on Taggart.
We talked about Glenn Taggart possibly getting hot, and as we spoke about it, he did. We will be back to the Rochester War Memorial for Section 5 AAA basketball action, where McQuaid is the leader, 19-14 after the first. We are back at the War Memorial. McQuaid leads it by 5. McQuaid outscored Fairport 19-3, Coach O'Toole, in the last part of the first quarter.
They had a real strong run. Right after that timeout, things just turned around for McQuaid. We have to see if Fairport will be able to regroup this period.
You mentioned a possible change of defenses.
Well, he's still sticking with the man-to-man, Coach Fitch.
There's Woodard back out to Holton. Holton's shot is good from downtown. That would have been a three-pointer if there was such a thing in high school.
Nice shot by Holton.
Brian Keenan over to Ken Hartman into the game for Fairport. Keenan back out to Hartman.
Fairport needs to get a basket here. They've been in a drought. They need to get their confidence back.
It's a 7-point lead for McQuaid. Fairport working it around. We haven't seen any fast breaks, just one. 2 fast break points in the game so far. The shot by Portland is no good. McQuaid's Woodard with the rebound. He brings it up court. He's not going to go all the way. Or is he? He stops, kicks it back out to Holton. Taggart has been hot, but he isn't there. There's the foul on Holton. I'm sorry, that's the foul on Tom Belts.
Belts, he crashed the boards. Nothing wrong with that. Coach likes to see a player hustle on the offensive boards.
That's his first, 4th team foul. Fairport ball.
Fairport brings it out, and Brian Keenan. Well, I knew I'd say Mike before the night was out. Brian Keenan brings it up. Mike Keenan's too busy with the Flyers right now. Brian Keenan thought about the shot, didn't take it. There's Hardman. Back over to Portland and Brian Vance in the corner. That shot rolls off. And Greg Woodard down with a rebound. And there's a foul on Greg Portland for Fairport.
Not a good foul to take down there. Rebound was already secured. Better off getting back and playing that good half-court defense.
McQuaid at the foul line is shooting 75%. They're 3 for 4 so far tonight, Coach, and Woodard has had 2 of them.
That's good shooting. You'd like to have that.
Greg Woodard will be at the line with a 7-point McQuaid lead, 21-14, 6.5 minutes left in the half. And Woodard misses the front end, and Brian Keenan will bring it up for the Red Raiders.
I think Fairport's going to need to work the ball inside a little bit. They've been taking a lot of perimeter shots.
There's Portland, and his shot's an air ball. Mike Holton out ahead to the speedy Taggart. He stops, shoots, and it's good.
It was a good pull-up. It was a good pull-up by Taggart. Good form shot.
And the lead is now 9, 23-14. That's off of Fairport. And off McQuaid, rather. Fairport will keep it. Greg Portland shooting 1 for 5 from the field for Fairport.
I think Fairport's going to have to try to find Kyle Reed. There he is.
There he is.
Up strong.
Missed the shot.
Got his own rebound. He's going to go up again.
There he is.
There he is.
Kyle Reed, the man who's got to match up inside for Fairport to stay in this game, in your opinion, I understand.
They need to get the ball, let him go hard to the basket, maybe draw some fouls.
Tom Belts with the combination hook.
I don't think Coach Joe Marchese would like to see that.
Well, he made one from the seat of his pants the other night. Maybe he's trying for another miracle.
Nice move by Reed. They're going into him now. Ball fake, pump fake. Got the big man up in the air. Ducked under, took the jumper, and got fouled.
Joe Williams into the game for McQuaid, number 21. Tom Belts goes out after the shot we saw him make down the other end. Might that have something to do with it?
I think that had a lot to do with it.
Kyle Reed at the foul line. His team down 23-16, and the front end misses. Kyle Reed now 1 for 3 at the line tonight.
He's a better shooter than that.
He is a bulky kid, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Greg Woodard with the rebound for the Knights. Mike Holton looks to move it up for McQuaid. Getting some hassling by Hardman. He gets it into Taggart. Back to Holton.
Hardman's putting a lot of pressure on Holton. See if he can't create a turnover.
There's Glenn Taggart, and he loses control. He was heading up, but Brian Keenan will be called with his 3rd foul of the game, and there could be a key down the stretch. We're going to see it again. There's Keenan with the hand on Taggart as he moved toward the hoop.
Tough call. You don't know if he had ball before or if it was all on the arm.
Fairport with only 2 points in the first 3 minutes of this quarter. They have been cold. Glenn Taggart at the line, and the first one finds its way in. 24-16, an 8-point McQuaid lead.
I think Fairport's got to feel kind of happy that they're only this far down, considering the way they're playing. A real drought at the other end. I think because they're playing some pretty good defense, it's kept them in the ball game.
Joe Williams is called for the foul underneath after the free throw, and we'll come back to the other end.
Bonus situation for Fairport.
Fairport now in the bonus with the 5 team fouls, and going to the line is Todd Hallett, averaging 8 points a game, 5.5 assists. He's a senior, a 6'2" guard.
It's a 1-1, and they need them both. Fairport needs them both.
The first shot. Here's off. Wasn't on line. There's a scramble underneath. Greg Woodard comes away with it for the Knights.
Good rebound by Kyle Reed again.
Holton pushes it up to Joe Williams. Back out to Woodard. Pumps, doesn't take it. Glenn Taggart feeds Martzloff, who goes off the glass. It's missed. He gets his own rebound. Turns around, and that's good.
Good hustle by Scott Martzloff. It's a big-time play right there.
He is a junior. He stands 6'10", taller than anyone by far on the Fairport team.
McQuaid putting that pressure on in half court. Fairport very patient, putting the ball over. They're going to work.
Not a team that should be intimidated by pressure if
Nice
history
pass.
repeats itself. And there's the Martzloff rebound on the other end. Martzloff in a little trouble, but he gets it to Mike Holton. Finds Woodard. Woodard back out to Holton, and they will slow things down a bit with 4 minutes left in the half. Martzloff with the hook. Doesn't go. Fairport with the rebound, and they get it to Hartman, who pushes it up to number 40. Mark Berry into the game for Fairport,
Nice,
and he gets his first 2 points.
Real nice play. Berry got it, make a strong move to the basket.
Mike Holton to Joe Williams, into Woodard, and he's stripped of the ball as he goes up, and there'll be a foul on Fairport. The foul's on 20, Ken Hartman, and Greg Woodard finds himself at the line again tonight. Fairport's 4 points in the last 4 minutes. I can figure it out. It's averaging about 1 point a minute, Coach. Not what you got to do to beat McQuaid. And there's Woodard. He misses at the line. A Berry down with a rebound, and Hartman bringing it up. Brian Keenan is on the bench for Fairport with 3 fouls and will quite possibly sit out the rest of the half. That's a Berry with a shot. Doesn't go after a call.
We got a foul off the ball. Reed's going to be at the line shooting.
Kyle Reed, he's listed as a forward, but he does his work in the middle. And here we see the replay of the foul away from the ball. Can you see it?
Yes, they were playing him pretty tough. He was getting a little massage in there, but the referees caught it.
Kyle Reed at the free throw stripe. The shot misses. Joe Williams comes down with a rebound.
That's a trap. Oh,
They didn't call it.
He kept
They
his
didn't call
dribble.
it. They said he kept
He kept his
dribbling.
dribble.
Oh, what a block. Glenn Taggart's shot is rejected by Mark Berry. Todd Hallett now with the ball. And another steal.
No, we got a foul on
There's
Mike
going to be
Holton.
a foul. Mike Holton called for the foul. Glenn Taggart said, there's the basket. Here I am with the ball. There's nobody in between, but
He reached in. He got maybe got the ball, but I think he also got the man too. And you can't do both.
Again, the bonus situation for Fairport.
Fairport's not been shooting too well from the line tonight, and those points are badly needed.
That's Mike Holton's second foul, and it will send Todd Hallett to the line for the Red Raiders. 26-18 the score. Fairport trails, and another missed opportunity at the free throw line. Another McQuaid rebound. Mike Holton with the ball for Fairport. Joe Williams drives, kicks back out to Woodard, who can't handle it. The steal by Hartman. He's going to go all the
Nice
way.
move.
He does, and it misses. Rebound underneath for Fairport.
Fairport's had some good opportunities the last couple times down the floor. They just haven't been able to connect.
There's Taggart with a miss, and the foul on Woodard over the back.
Little bit of impatience on Taggart's part. I thought if he'd hold the ball and let the rest of the players come down, set up in that half-court offense, it'd be a little more effective.
Again in the bonus, Greg Woodard, that is his second foul. We see it again. There's Taggart really pushing it.
No one's really down. And Woodard's coming in from the backside. Fairport pretty much had the rebounding positions.
26-18. Fairport trailing by 8. 2.5 minutes left in the half. Ryan Vance hits one at the line for Fairport.
They needed that. They've been struggling from the line.
2 for 8 until that shot. We're going to go and hear what Brian Vance had to say about this game. Talking to him before the game. Pump. Glenn Taggart with the ball from McQuaid over to Woodard. And there's a shot for you. He pulled that one out of his socks.
I'll tell you, they all count when they go in, but it wasn't the kind of shot most coaches would like to see.
McQuaid up by 8. 2 minutes left in the half. Brian Vance. It's kicked back out to Hartman. Hartman in the corner to a Berry. No shot, and the rebound by Joe Williams for McQuaid. Here's Mike Holton running it for McQuaid. He's going to be patient.
There's no reason for McQuaid to rush now. They got a lead. They should work for the good shot. Got to go in with that halftime lead. Be comfortable with it.
Woodard has hit 5 straight shots, so if you're going to get it to somebody, it might be him, or how about Glenn Taggart? Nice move along the baseline.
Yes, it is. He likes to work that baseline. Even though he's a guard, he likes to get the ball, make the move, go into the basket strong.
Ken Hartman brings it up for the vacationing Brian Keenan. Feeds it inside, and there's a struggle, and McQuaid with another big turnaround. Number 23 for McQuaid, Ted Van Honey, coming away with it. There is 1 minute remaining, a 10-point McQuaid lead here in this Section 5 AAA championship game. And the Knights will be satisfied to wait for the good shot, possibly the last of this half, and go into the locker room with a dozen on the cushion. Glenn Taggart kicks it back out to Holton. Holton finds Taggart. They're going to move toward it. And Taggart's shot misses. Fairport will have another chance. Brian Vance ahead to Ken Hartman. Hartman almost loses control, and there's a foul called on Greg Woodard. And that will be his third. A correction, it's the third for Holton. The foul on Holton is his third. And Ken Hartman will go to the line for Fairport. We see it again. Holton with the extracurricular activity, and Ken Hartman is shooting 1 and 1. The first one is good. 30-21, cuts the lead to 9 for the Knights. Red Raiders' Ken Hartman will try it again with 28 seconds to go here in the half. And he makes them both. Dick O'Toole getting ready to talk to one of the coaches at halftime. And McQuaid working for one more shot before heading to the locker room. That's number 14, John Kelly for the Knights. In for Mike Holton, who just got his third foul. Kelly stops, shoots, with a nice score there. Put McQuaid back up by 10. There's only 5 seconds left. The shot from Kyle Reed, Todd Hallett rather, is no good. But the rebound by Reed, and the shot is good to make it a 32-24 halftime margin. The Knights of McQuaid come out on the strength of Greg Woodard and Glenn Taggart. And we're going to go to Dick O'Toole, who's got to talk to Jeff Fitch from Fairport.
With me is Coach Jeff Fitch of Fairport. Jeff, you got out of the gate real quick. Then things didn't go too well for you. What kind of adjustments do you think you're going to have to make here at halftime?
Well, Dick, I think we're actually very pleased where we are right now with Keenan getting 3 fouls early in the second quarter. We certainly could be down a lot more than we are. I think we're in pretty good shape now, believe it or not. Certainly we did get out to a good start. We could have liked to have kept it, but they did a good adjustment. Now we're going to have to come back and adjust ourselves. I think we've got to be a little more patient once we do not have the break, and I think their run on us was due to our shooting a little too quick. So I think we've got to be a little more patient on offense, not give them as many shots, of course, on theirs. And if we cut down our quick shots, I think that'll help a great deal, and I think we get back in the game.
I know you must cringe a little bit now at the foul line. I know your team's better. What do you think the problem is tonight?
Well, if I knew that, we'd have been correcting it. But if we don't hit any better than that, we can kiss this game goodbye. We got to hit at the foul line. We've got to get the ball inside, I think, a little more to Reed, too.
Coach, thanks very much, and good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Dick.
Has been here once before as the coach of the Fairport Red Raiders, and he won it in 1975, back here for the first time in a long time, and he hopes to tell his team something at halftime that will change their luck a little bit. It is 32-24 at halftime, and we will be back to the War Memorial after this word.
When I heard we were looking for a new sports anchor, I thought, why look? Doug Emblidge, he's right here.
Going from news to sports was natural for me because what happens in sports often is news. I grew up here in Rochester watching Channel 13, and I've always been a local sports fan. Now I'm working here at 13 with people like Don Alhart. I'm still a reporter. I just have a new beat as NewsCenter 13's sports anchor.
NewsCenter 13. The more you watch, the more you understand.
And we are back at the War Memorial. The score, Dick O'Toole, 32-24. Jeff Fitch has his work cut out for him as the pep talk man at halftime for Fairport.
Yes, he does, but it's like he said at the end of the half. I think he's happy to be where he is, considering the way his team played after the halfway point in the first quarter. It could be a lot worse. Certainly the game, he can win this ball game. There's no question about it.
Free throws could have made a difference for him.
Yes, and Fairport's not a bad shooting team either. That's probably the thing that's most upsetting to him.
Jeff Fitch, one of the men honored this year at the Burkett Mills Coach of the Year luncheon out at Locust Hill earlier this week. The Burkett Mills people from down in Penn Yan have taken over the duties of running the Coach of the Year luncheon, and we are going to meet the Coaches of the Year from Section 5.
And we are here with Wayne Wagner. He is from the Burkett Mills in Penn Yan. Your first year to sponsor this luncheon was a great success.
Yes, Doug, it's a pleasure for us to sponsor the Coaches and Players Luncheon this year. We've been involved indirectly with Section 5 for a number of years, and we're pleased to be here.
Well, as I said, it was a great success, a good lunch. We all enjoyed it. Now let us do the honors and introduce the Coaches of the Year. We're going to step back so we can get a good shot of all their handsome faces. Come on over here, Wayne, and we're going to begin with Class D. Why don't you do the honors?
This year from Class D, we have Coach Jim Burke from Prattsburg Central School.
And they had a great year down in Prattsburg, and he was an entertaining speaker at the luncheon today. We're going to move to Class B now.
In Class C, we have Bill Saxby with Honeoye.
I said Class B, it's Class C. And Bill, another great success down at Honeoye this year, and what was it, 19-0 until the bitter end, or yeah, okay. And now we move to Class B.
In Class B this year, we have Wheatland Charlie Coach Tom Dooling.
Former WOKR Team of the Week. Congratulations, Tom. And Livonia?
In Livonia in Class A, we have Tom Downey, and he's a transfer from Dansville.
All right, he's been Coach of the Year before. Class AA this year?
This year's winner is Jim Cox. He's from Roth. They had a successful season this year.
Another undefeated year. And finally, Class AAA, Wayne.
We have Jeff Fitch from Fairport, and I know he's looking forward to the finals on Saturday.
Okay, very good. Congratulations to all the Coaches of the Year.
We want to recognize some other athletes tonight while we're here at the basketball game, the cheerleaders who cheer the teams on all year long. And with me is Kate Pulley-Blank, one of the coordinators of Section 5 cheerleading. It really is a sport. They are athletes, and the competition in Honeoye every February is a chance for them to compete against each other.
That's right. They start out in the fall when basketball season starts. They compete. There were 92 schools this year, and of the 92, 61 of them did end up in our cheer-off. During the year, they are judged by the opponent's cheerleading coach on the overall effect, sideline cheers, floor cheers, and balance movement.
There is a lot to it, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Okay, we have some recognitions we want to make here. We want to move down the line here, and I'll let you do the honors. Okay?
All right, thank you very much. Joanne Small is our AAA class person, and she's presenting the award this year to Val Snellgrove for the third consecutive year has placed first from Greece Olympia.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very exciting.
Okay, and then we have a coach here who is deserving of some recognition.
Yes, each classification we have a Coach of the Year, and they are selected by their fellow coaches, and they are judged on the criteria of success with material available, leadership among fellow coaches, and this year, the AAA
winners in the cheerleading competition from Greece Olympia High School with their winning cheer. And those are the cheerleaders from Greece Olympia, the winners in Class AAA, Val Snellgrove, their coach. Now some of the other winners from this year's competition. In Class AA, coached by Sherry Wild, the cheerleaders from Geneva. And in Class A, the winners coached by Rosemarie Fox from Wayland. Congratulations to them. In Class B, from Dundee, coached by Kay Anderson, the winners there. In Class C, Patty Saxby, the coach at Honeoye. And from Cohocton, in Class D, coached by Barb Harmon. Congratulations to all, and we will be back at the War Memorial right after this.
Don't forget to stop by the stage of the War Memorial and pick up tickets for the second annual Ronald
Now, truthfully, what's the best you've been able to do on that new Chevy Celebrity you've been looking for? $600, $800, $1,000 off? Well, how about $2,000 off during Ideal Chevy Old's biggest sale of the year, our annual Ides of March sale. Also 3.9% financing on most Chevy trucks, worth a short money-saving ride to Ide, just 20 minutes south of Marketplace Mall, to Mitch Ide's Ideal Chevy Olds in Geneseo.
Chuck Woolery talks about Love Connection.
The people that come on Love Connection hold nothing back. It seems that they have no inhibition at all. When I feel like somebody is trying to withhold information from me that I think could possibly be vital to what's going on, then I go hunting. You know, it's fun even when it doesn't work out, but it's great when it does.
Love Connection, a new chance for romance every day.
The Love Connection, weekdays at 4 on WOKR 13.
And we are back at the Rochester War Memorial. Welcome back. The AAA championship game at halftime right now. We look up at the score. It's 32-24, an 8-point lead for the Knights of McQuaid. We'll be back to the game in a matter of moments. There have been other sectional games to talk about, and here are the highlights from the other class championship games in this Section 5 tournament.
School played its final basketball game Thursday night. It will merge with Rush Henrietta Sperry for the next school year. Undefeated, the Royals faced a familiar foe, the Newark Reds, the team that beat them in last year's AA finals. Roth led until the final minutes when Newark senior Greg Logans took over. He made 8 straight free throws in the second half and led the Reds with 25 points to a second straight sectional championship and an upset of the top seed.
We had heart and everything, and, you know, I just feel like we're champs, you know, that's all, you know, I can't really say nothing else.
In the Class A championship, top seed Livonia had an easier time, a 21-point win over third seed Marcus Whitman. MVP Adrian Myers had 21 points. Earlier in the day, Livonia's Tom Downey had been named Coach of the Year in Class A, leading a team with no returning starters to the top.
These kids are unbelievable. We started out last November, and we just played great basketball all the way through. And I'm so proud of these kids, and they deserve every recognition so far.
Newark meets Livonia Monday in the state playoffs to represent Section 5 in Class B.
And this afternoon at the War Memorial, the Class B championship game, Clyde Savannah and White against Wheatland Chi-Li. Calvin Johnson works the ball and is going to hit the jumper for the Golden Eagles and a 16-point lead. He had 15 points himself in the game. Now, Wheatland Chi-Li made a charge defensively and behind Tony Whitlow in the second half. He drives to the bucket, and the lead is only 6 points. Clyde answers back, though. Dickie Pullen scored 20 points. He gets 2 right here on the beautiful layup, a spinning layup that kept Clyde out in front. High score once again for Clyde was Robbie Smith. He's done it all year. He had 23 points today as Clyde holds on to win this game for the Class B championship. Now in Class C, Notre Dame Batavia versus top seed Cuba. Notre Dame led most of the way. John Arnett puts in a rebound for 2 of his 16 points on the afternoon. For Cuba, V.J. Ortiz kept Cuba close. He hits a baseline jumper and had 22 points to lead Cuba this afternoon. They undefeated all season. Notre Dame Batavia's Ron Nenny was the high scorer for his team and the game with 29 points this afternoon. The game comes down to the end. Batavia leads by a point. Irv Kohler at the line for a 1-and-1, but he missed the front end. Cuba goes down court, and Russell Mosier will hit a jumper as time runs out. Cuba wins it in the thriller, 66-65. And there was another sectional title game to talk about. It was played last night, Friday night at Alfred University, and it was a great game. Prattsburgh got out to a big lead over Whitesville, but it didn't last. It didn't last, at least the big lead. The lead lasted, and Prattsburgh held on to win it in a thriller down at Alfred last night to take the Class D championship. We will be back from the War Memorial in just a moment. Doug Emblidge along with Dick O'Toole back at the Rochester War Memorial. We hope you are enjoying tonight's telecast of the Section 5 AAA championship game. Believe it or not, though all the action is here right now, there's a lot more going on in the world of sports, and we're going to go back to TV 13 and Mike Adine. Mike?
All right, Doug. First of all, the Amherst are at Springfield going for their 9th win in a row and a chance to move into a tie for first place in the Southern Division. And right now they're deadlocked with the Indians 3-3 in the second period. Jim Jackson, Bob Logan, and Jay Fraser have scored goals for the Amherst. Darcy Walkluck in goal tonight in spelling Darren Pupa, who has started quite a few games in a row and needs a rest of some sorts. And he'll probably be back in goal tomorrow night when the Amherst return home to play Nova Scotia. We'll have a full report on tonight's game at 11 o'clock. Meanwhile, the Sabres opened a home-and-home series with Quebec at Les Coliseaux. The Sabres hoping to move into a tie for the final playoff spot in the Adams Division with the Nordique, but the Sabres are on the trailing end of a 3-2 score now in the second period. Don Lever with his 3rd goal in as many games, and Paul Sear scoring the other goal for the Sabres. We'll have highlights of that game at 11 o'clock. College basketball, Syracuse moved into the championship game of the Big East tournament with a 99-85 win over Pitt. Sherman Douglas set a tournament record, scoring 35 points. The Orangemen will take on Georgetown in the finals tomorrow afternoon. The Hoyas down Providence 84-66. Locally, Nazareth has a battle on its hands in the finals of the NCAA Division III East Regionals. The Golden Flyers are up against top-ranked Potsdam State. The Golden Bears going for their 59th win in a row. And we'll tell you about that one tonight at 11 o'clock. And in wrestling, it looks as if Brockport State will not win the NCAA Division III National Championship. The Golden Eagles trailed team-leading Trenton State by almost 30 points going into tonight's finals. Brockport has only one wrestler in the finals. That's at 158 pounds, and that's John Leone out of Penfield. We'll have these stories and more on NewsCenter 13 Sports at 11. Now back to the War Memorial.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Welcome back to the War Memorial. The score is 32-24, an 8-point McQuaid lead. Quite a game so far. We welcome the president of Section 5, Judy Knight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we're happy to have you here. What'd you think of that first half?
Good first half. Fairport got off to a quick start, and McQuaid's closing it in, so it's making it a good game.
The president of Section 5, it's quite a title. What does that job entail?
It encompasses organizing and running all of the sectional contests for 120 schools throughout the Section 4, boys and girls.
You find out if you take a drive from one end of Section 5 to the other that it's quite a geographical area to cover, isn't it?
It's very large. We're the largest section in the state of New York. And speaking of that, I went down to one of the lower parts of our classification last night, went to the Class D finals. Real exciting game there.
Yeah, Prattsburgh had quite a lead,
yes,
and then Whitesville made it close.
Whitesville would not give up.
Judy, as president of Section 5, some issues that might come up in the next couple of years, possibly a three-point play in high school basketball. Yes. Is that the kind of thing that you'd have any decision-making power in?
We certainly do. We usually go to our coordinators, such as Gene Johnson is our basketball coordinator, and ask him for recommendations. And each sport has a coordinator that we ask for their expertise and their recommendation. Then the executive committee and the athletic council help to make those decisions.
Okay, Judy, thank you very much. The president of Section 5, also from Edison High School, is another guy from Edison High School.
Right.
And he's to my right here, Dick O'Toole, the coach from Edison Tech. And we saw quite a first half of basketball. As we recall, going way back, Fairport got right out on top, but it didn't stay that way for long.
No, it didn't. Brian Keenan got out quick. He was a factor in Fairport's quick start. Passes off here, he goes underneath, gets the return pass, up for the strong layup for the 2 points. That sort of propelled Fairport in the early going.
The quiet man, the worker for McQuaid, has been Greg Woodard all year long. He's the kind of guy who can make things happen, and you're not even ready for it. You don't even know it's happening. Greg Woodard had 12 points in the first half.
Greg had a real good first half. Very patient. He's the one that ignited McQuaid's rally when they were behind. Nice touch on his jump shots. Very nice.
And beyond Greg Woodard for McQuaid, there was just never a chance for Fairport to get things going when they struggled at the foul line. And then McQuaid got a fast break going that we're going to see a highlight from here.
Yes, here's the fast break. Holton gets the ball up to Taggart. Taggart comes in, knows that he can't go to the basket, pulls up, takes a real nice squared up jump shot.
He is a quick ball player. He had 11 points in the first half, and we have a lot of statistics to run down from the first half, and I think it's fairly interesting that in some categories this game is extremely close. An 8-point lead for McQuaid. We'll be back at the War Memorial to review those statistics right after this. We are back at the War Memorial, a 32-24 lead for McQuaid. The second half just about to begin. We mentioned some statistics in the first half. Shooting percentage a key.
Yes, it is. McQuaid's shooting 58% from the field, where Fairport's only 33%. Right there, you know, without that good shooting, you're going to struggle. And you look at free throws, Fairport's 6 and 12, 50%. One of their good foul shooters, Reed, is 1 for 5. So those are couple areas that Fairport hopes to pick up on to get back in this ball game.
Brian Keenan, the man playing with 3 fouls, with a shot there, and there's a blocking foul underneath number 24, Greg Woodard, and that will be, I believe, his third. It is Brian Keenan and Greg Woodard, 2 of the big names. See it again.
Keenan's the type of ball player likes to go to the basket. He's got 3 fouls. He has to be careful. He got that one. He got the block, but he's going to have to be careful. They need him.
Keenan gets the first points of the second half for Fairport. It is now 32-25. It is 32-26. Keenan makes them both. They get the second half underway, and Mike Holton brings it up for McQuaid. Glenn Taggart, who had a nice first half, 11 points. That's Holton. His shot falls short. The rebound to Fairport, and Kyle Reed.
Holton actually tipped that ball. It didn't look like it was going to get to Keenan. He tipped the ball trying for the steal, and it allowed Keenan to receive the ball and take it in for the layup.
I said Keenan got the rebound. We got to give that credit to Todd Hallett, because that was a big rebound. There's Reed fighting for it underneath.
Jump ball.
And a jump ball is called. The possession. McQuaid. I'm sorry, it is Fairport's ball on the alternating possession. 32-28, a 4-point lead.
Possession McQuaid.
I was right the first time. It is McQuaid's ball.
There's the lob inside.
There's Scott Martzloff. His shot cold there.
Not a good shot. He was shooting, backing off. He didn't have any arc on the ball. They got away with it there. Fairport knocked it out.
Brian Vance knocked it out, and Mike Holton inbounds it from McQuaid. There's Taggart with the open shot, and it is good. A high arcing jumper from the top of the key. That makes it 34-28 early in the second half.
Fairport had to worry about the inside lob to either Woodard or Martzloff, so they had to open up on the outside. Taggart put it home.
Todd Hallett back out to Keenan. Keenan feeds Kyle Reed inside. He kicks it back out to Greg Portland, and there's Reed underneath, and that one falls.
Nice strong move by Kyle Reed.
Mike Holton, the general for the McQuaid Knights. He has a lot of guns to shoot for.
Fairport still playing man-to-man.
And there's a foul call away from it on that play, Coach.
Fairport foul on number 14, Brian Vance.
Number 14, Brian Vance for Fairport with the foul. That's the first team foul, the second half. And his second of the game. McQuaid with the ball. They lead by 4. And there's the rebound by Keenan. He pushes it way up to Hallett. And Hallett misses, but Brian Vance is there.
Nice follow by Vance. McQuaid didn't block out inside. No one picked up Vance. Great hustle.
Coach, we have ourselves a ball game at the 6-minute mark. 6 minutes left in the third. There's Glenn Taggart. He's been hot and still is for McQuaid.
He's coming off that pick. He's getting the ball where he likes it.
Todd Hallett feeds it across to Brian Vance. Kyle Reed's moving for the basket. He feeds Greg Portland underneath, who scores. The basket will count, and there's a foul.
That was a classic textbook play of breaking the press, the half-court trap. Good passing. Get the open man down low. Good ball fake, head fake, up with the basket and the foul.
And McQuaid, we see it again. On that play, it cuts the lead to 2. Greg Portland will go to the line, the senior forward, with a chance to make this a 1-point championship ball game. That was Mike Holton's second foul, by the way, for the Knights. And there's the rebound. The miss. Kyle Reed fighting for it underneath.
There
and
it
a
is,
foul.
Reed.
And that is a foul on McQuaid. On Greg Woodard. Tom Belts with the foul, and Greg Woodard is thanking his lucky stars it wasn't. We see it again.
Ball being tipped around, and Reed, who loves to play in there, gets that rebound.
Keenan's shot misses from the corner, and Martzloff comes down with the ball for the Knights. Mike Holton has gone out of the ball game, and John Kelly is in. He takes it in, feeds Martzloff.
They got away with that there. Kelly didn't take a good shot, but Martzloff had the good inside position for the tip.
Fairport down by 4. Here's Keenan. Stops, shoots. No good, and Martzloff with the rebound. There's a foul, and it's going to go against Fairport's Greg Portland, and he is not happy about that. They locked arms on that one, Coach.
Yeah, Portland was aggressive. He wanted to get the rebound. He got tangled up. Unfortunately, the ball was in Woodard's hands, and he's charged with the personal.
Fairport's points all inside the paint. 10 of them this half, Coach.
Well, they need to get the ball inside. I think they got a good man in Kyle Reed.
There's another steal. Kyle Reed right there. You just talked about him. He goes ahead, and the pass is too far. Tried to get fancy. Tried to push that up to Keenan, but Keenan just couldn't get there.
I think he should have released the ball quicker. You don't really want the ball in his hands in the middle leading the break.
John Kelly now running the offense for McQuaid as Mike Holton is on the bench. Kelly to Martzloff, who sees Woodard, finds him, and Woodard puts it off the glass for 2. And it's a 40-34 ball game, McQuaid. Brian Keenan looking over to Jeff Fitch for a moment. Some instructions, taking his time as he brings it up.
McQuaid's in a 2-3.
Brian Vance in the corner to Hallett, who almost loses it, gets it back, drives and tries to go all the way. The rejection by Martzloff. The shot off the rebound is no good, and there's Martzloff with the bound. And it's off a Fairport player. McQuaid will have the ball.
Good strong rebound by Martzloff. He had a lot of Fairport players around him.
Marcaberry has entered the game for Fairport, and Greg Portland will take a seat. John Kelly brings it up for McQuaid. They lead by 6, but we've seen some great inside play so far in this second half. Martzloff with the ball, looks inside, can't find anyone. That's Tom Belts with a jumper. It's all metal. He gets his own rebound, puts up to follow it. Also is no good. Belts still with the ball. looks for some help from Kelly. Kelly drives, shoots. It's no good, gets his own rebound. Greg Woodard with a shot off the glass is good.
Good hustle by McQuaid on that exchange.
A lot of chances there for McQuaid. They dominated the boards. Players getting their own rebound, and we have a timeout. Fairport wants some time to talk it over, Coach. What does that statistic mean? What does it tell you as a coach that the points inside, especially for Fairport, have been all inside? We're going to listen now to Coach Jeff Fitch of the Red Raiders.
We got down to 2 to 4, and then we let up. We can't do that. Next time we get down to the 4 or 2-point range, that's the time we got to tighten it up. Tighten the screws a little more. Understand me? All right, now in order to get there, we got to come back, try to get it inside, but don't force it. If we'll move it side to side pretty quick, then we can go into read because they can't cover it from side to side more than one time. Okay? Defensively now, we want to deny the one pass in. All right? Now, Keenan, I want you to go back on no. I want you back on Taggart. All right? Just don't reach, that's all. I want pressure on this guy, the 14. Now he can shoot foul shots and stuff, but make him go to his left primarily. If he stops his dribble, all over him without bumping him. You must make Woodard go behind that pick, not over the front, because he's too big if he gets it in there. See what I'm saying? On the flex. So on his flex, it goes away from you. Sit on top of that pick. So that it goes out.
Jeff Fitch has been doing this for 19 seasons for the Red Raiders, and you heard him, Coach.
Yeah, he's just...
See the last play for McQuaid here. They got chance after chance, and Woodard finally with a shot off the glass. Great hustle.
They kept going after the ball. No blocking out by Fairport. Led to that McQuaid basket.
42-34 the score. McQuaid out in front. We've got 3.5 minutes left in the third. There's Brian Keenan. Out to Hallett. Hallett to Keenan in the corner. He makes the move. He stops, shoots, and that's good. All net.
Fairport needs to tighten up on the defensive end, as Coach Fitch was saying. They get the lead down to 2 or 4 points, but then they let McQuaid back in it again.
There's Taggart with 2 for McQuaid. You heard Jeff Fitch mention Greg Woodard's name. He's hit his last 7 in a row. He's got 16 points tonight. He's obviously a player that they want to stop. They being Fairport. There's Brian Vance with the ball. He has it stripped, but there's a foul, and that will go against John Kelly, the guard who's playing for Mike Holton at the moment for the Knights. That's his second of the night. The key foul situation, though, has got to be Brian Keenan's 3 fouls and Greg Woodard's 3.
Yeah, Keenan with the 3 fouls makes it difficult to play him man-to-man on Taggart, but then he kind of pressure.
Keenan looks to get it inside to Reedy. Nice one-handed bounce back out. Keenan in the corner, and he isn't missing.
Good ball moving by Fairport.
There's Glenn Taggart. He's going to stop, and that's off the metal. He gets his own rebound, and there's the block by Marca Berry, but he's called for the foul. Berry got a hand on more than the ball there, Coach, and Taggart will go to the line. You're going to see that again.
He got the ball, but he got him pretty good with his body down below.
Aggressive play underneath the basket, the hallmark of this second half so far. There's 2.5 minutes left in the third, and that's Glenn Taggart missing the first of his shots at the line.
Free throw shooting has not been very good by either team tonight.
He makes the second one. They'll make the score 45-38, a 7-point McQuaid lead. Taggart now has 18. There you see Brian Keenan, the senior guard for Fairport, feeds it into Kyle Reed. The shot goes up. Somebody got a hand on it, and McQuaid's Kelly comes down with it, and he'll bring it back up. A chance to go ahead by 9. There's Taggart. The shot misses. Kyle Reed with a rebound. And Keenan pushing it up with a little emphasis on the speed. Brings it back out. Finds Reed underneath, who goes over Martzloff. The shot is no good, and the rebound goes to Tom Belts for the Knights.
Fairport's doing a nice job of getting the ball inside. Reed's having a tough time putting it down right now. But I think they still got to try to get the ball in there.
There's the steal.
Good steal.
Off the Hallett push, and he's going to get it back and go in, and it rolls around and out. Those are the kind of shots you don't want to miss in a big game when you're down. You don't want to miss them anytime, I guess.
Should have used the glass. He tried to just lay it in. He should have used the glass.
He had a lot of time to think about it. He was all alone. There's Glenn Taggart's shot, and that's good. He's got 20.
They're giving Taggart too much room. Can't let a player of that caliber have that much room and time.
There's Reed underneath, and he is rejected, but that will be a foul on Scott Martzloff.
It's a nice power move.
The big center for McQuaid commits the foul. He is 6'10". He's a junior. Sat out last year because of troubles.
There's a nice entry pass. He ducks down. He goes in and he takes it up strong. He knows he's got Martzloff behind him, and to avoid that block, he took it up real strong.
That's a third foul on Scott Martzloff, and he's going to take a seat. Martzloff, I mentioned troubles. They were knee troubles for Scott Martzloff, and he's playing his first year on the McQuaid varsity. He's a junior, will be back next year, and I know Joe Marchese's happy about that. Kyle Reed at the free throw line, and he gets them both.
Two big ones, they needed them.
47-40 the score.
They're gonna have to tighten up on Taggart, but Keenan with the 3 fouls.
There's the steal. Todd Hallett tries to take it all away. McQuaid gets it back, and then there's a fight underneath. There's the shot from his back, and it goes in off the tip. What a shot! What a shot! Reminiscent of the McQuaid Tom Velt shot against East. He took one from the floor. He had no help that day. Today, there was help for the Red Raiders, and the shot ends up through the hoop. It is 47-42, a great basketball game. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. We hope you're enjoying the action from the War Memorial. That's John Kelly from McQuaid going for the last shot. There's 10 seconds. Greg Woodard with the shot that doesn't go. The rebound. There's a foul, but
no, I think it's a good block, and it's off McQuaid. Fairport with 2 seconds.
2 seconds left, and they're gonna, there's the shot. It will not be in time. They let Keenan get a hand on it too soon, and there was no time to get that shot up. We will be back to the War Memorial. We hope you're enjoying the Class AAA championship game. The score, McQuaid 47. And Fairport 42. There you see some of the action under the board. We'll be back. Welcome back to the War Memorial. A 5-point lead for McQuaid. Fairport outscoring McQuaid in the third quarter, 18-15. Dick O'Toole.
Well, they needed to come back. They needed to try to establish a little momentum in their favor, and I think they've done that. But this final period here, there's no holding back. You got to play hard defense, whether you got 3 fouls, 2 fouls, 4 fouls.
There's the steal. And Mike Holton back in the ball game, misses the shot, but Glenn Taggart gets the rebound, or rather gets the tip. And he has 22 tonight. That's McQuaid's, really their first fast break points of the night. Fairport has 6 fast break points in the third quarter.
There's Reed. Nice rebounding on the offensive boards.
And they call the jump ball, and McQuaid will take over with that 7-point lead and 7.5 minutes left in this ball game. Mike Holton back in the game, running the offense. John Kelly spelled him as he took a time on the bench, but Holton is back in there. There's Tom Veltz. Ended up being a pass to Martzloff, who shot is short, and Brian Vance comes down with a rebound for the Red Raiders. Brian Keenan playing with 3 fouls.
The big guy needed a little more arc on that, boys. Shot's a little flat.
There's Keenan with the shot. Woodard in his face. He hands it. Back to 5 points.
They've made a switch here with Keenan playing Holton. Going to protect Keenan a little bit with those 3 fouls in his 4th period.
There's Taggart to Woodard. Woodard decides not to shoot. Taggart with the ball. He's going to take the fancy one. It goes in and out, and Kyle Reed with that big work inside for the rebound for Fairport. Out ahead to Hallett,
nice
underneath the
play.
Vance. Beautiful play. Right along the baseline, the pass goes. Brian Vance wide open.
That's a real nice play by Fairport. Good look.
I don't know if you can see it. Look at the celebration going on the Fairport side. You saw Brian Keenan. We're going to see that last play again that fired him up and brought Fairport to within 3 points. And this is still a ball game. We've got a lot of action left to go. Let's see what happened back there, Coach.
Kyle Reed with the rebound to Keenan. Keenan pushes it up into the corner. Now no one gets back on the weak side for McQuaid. They spot the open man. He puts it in for the easy 2.
Brian Vance is right there, and Todd Hallett was there to see it. Let's go to the huddle of Joe Marchese and the Knights.
Look for the good shot. Work it. Don't be so in a hurry. All right? And you got to run back and turn around and see the ball on defense. Come on, fellas. You got to run back. Take the same side of the zone every time. Not the other side. Original sides. You're still in good shape. Don't panic. Keep your composure. Remember what I said about composure. It's the key. Mike, you made a great play there, all right? Good follow. All right? You're up. Be patient, fellas. Come on, this is it. Come on. You're the better team. Now go out and show it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, onward.
You heard Joe Marchese in there, Dick, saying not to be in such a hurry. Glenn Taggart, although he's got a bundle of points, almost 2 dozen on the night so far, took probably an ill-advised shot coming down a little while ago. It rolled in and out. He was off balance. It looked fancy, but it didn't go in, and Joe Marchese wants the shots to be good ones the rest of the way.
Sometimes the player gets into the flow of the game, and he wants the ball, and sometimes his judgment isn't what it needs to be. He'll take a shot that he hadn't been taking, but he just feels he can make anything. But in this case, I think Coach Marchese just wants to slow it down, make sure they get the shots they want.
Number 12, Mike Holton, feeds Tom Belts underneath, and it falls. Belts with the layup, working inside. Brian Keenan for Fairport, playing cheerleader during that last time out. That's Kyle Reed underneath. He goes over Martzloff. The shot's no good. And Martzloff gets the rebound, and there's a foul. Exciting action under the basket. Kyle, you see it underneath here.
Got a good rebound.
Gonna go on Kyle Reed.
Reed bumped him with the body.
Number 50, Kyle Reed, his first of the game. Martzloff back out to Woodard with the long jumper. It's good. Ryan Keenan pushing it up for Fairport. Fairport trails 53-46. That's Brian Vance. Stops, shoots, and it rattles in.
Nice little baseline play by Fairport there.
Ryan Vance scored just there. He's 3 for 4 this half. And there's the bad pass. It will be Fairport ball. And Brian Keenan is over in the corner, running over to the McQuaid fans. His momentum took him to the boards, and he wanted to say hi to Mom, Dad, and his friends. Get them cheering. There's Kyle Reed underneath. A nice turnaround in the paint. Those points in the paint proving important here for the Red Raiders. It is 53-50. There's 5 minutes of great basketball left. Glenn Taggart to Belts.
Both teams playing very hard. Both ends of the floor.
Taggart back out to Woodard. McQuaid told to be a little more patient. Taggart saves it there. Into the corner to Holton. Holton's going to shoot. And he cans it. An important basket. Mike Holton wide open, doing what his coach said, waiting for the good one. Brian Keenan shoots, and it's good. They trade the long jumper. 55-52, Taggart on the run, stops, misses, and there's a foul. It will go against McQuaid. Can we see who it's on? Woodard and Martzloff were there, Coach.
Late foul on number
It is on Greg Woodard. That is his fourth. That could be a big problem for the Knights. Greg Woodard, the first player to get in deep foul trouble with 4.
Well, at this stage of the game with the championship on the line, I don't know if Coach Marchese will leave him in the ball game or give him a little break and then send him back in.
The miss by Brian Vance on the free throw. Glenn Taggart comes down with a rebound, and he is fouled. Attendance tonight at the War Memorial, 4,705, and it is easy to tell which side is which. The red and white of Fairport opposite us. Glenn Taggart been waiting for this game for a long time.
I told my mom that before I left McQuaid I was going to get a sectional patch, and it's right there. All I have to do is get it now.
Glenn Taggart cans the top of that 1-and-1 for 23 points now on the night. His mom sits at all the McQuaid games, cheers her son on with the sweatshirt that says Glenn Taggart's mom, and she just saw Glenn get his 24th point, hitting both ends of the 1-and-1. Glenn Taggart's mom, one of the big cheerleaders for the McQuaid Knights, enjoying this basketball game, as are we, Dick O'Toole.
Those are 2 big free throws they made. You know, every point now is going to be crucial because each team's Fairport's trying to make that run at McQuaid, and McQuaid's going to have to answer.
The shot by Hallett is no good, and Fairport will keep it. It went off McQuaid. Five points, the difference here. Fairport on the downside. There's 4 minutes to go in this game. Into Hallett, over to Brian Vance. He finds Keenan in the corner. He's going to drive the baseline. The shot falls.
Nice ball movement by McQuaid, by Fairport, to get the ball back into Brian Keenan's hands.
Brian Keenan is 5 for 5 in the 4th quarter. That's Holton with the long bomb, and Hallett tries to come down with it for Fairport. Glenn Taggart loses control, steps out of bounds, and Fairport will have the ball with a chance, Coach, to cut this to a 1-point ball game.
You got to give Fairport credit. They're hanging right in there. They're battling. You know, they want to get this title just as much as McQuaid.
Hallett finds Kyle Reed. What a pass!
What a
play! It falls. What a pass! Todd Hallett finds Kyle Reed underneath, and Kyle Reed does the rest. This is a 1-point ball game. The miss at the McQuaid end. There was a foul. It's going to go against Todd Hallett. And going to the line is number 21, Joe Williams, the 6'3" senior forward. We're going to look at that again. There's Williams.
He took it in. He got hit down that baseline. Good call by the officials.
Here's some crucial free throws, Coach. Young man at the War Memorial. A lot of pressure. And he answers that one.
Nothing but string music.
And he makes them both. Joe Williams for McQuaid. It is a 59-56 ball game. 3 minutes left. There's the steal. Williams steals it off the pass inside. Mike Holden with the ball. You got to be looking for Taggart or Woodard down the stretch. They have 40 of 57 McQuaid points of the 59 McQuaid points tonight. Greg Woodard.
He's up off the bench. They got to bring him back in now. You're getting down to crunch time. You got to have your primetime players on the floor.
Greg Woodard will come back into the game in the next break with 4 fouls. Joe Williams and John Kelly in there right now. And Williams feeds Kelly underneath. The shot doesn't go. Fairport comes away with it. That's Marka Berry out to Keenan. Keenan tries to feed underneath. Reed was moving underneath. And the ball's kicked. Back in the game is Greg Woodard for the Knights. Ken Hartman, number 20.
Keenan made a nice look, but ball was kicked, so Fairport gets the ball out of bounds.
Hartman is in the game. He feeds Reed underneath. Oh, what a move. It goes. What a shot. He leans in. The game is back to 1. Mike Holton brings it up for McQuaid. Holton over to Woodard, back in the game. Woodard drives around the outside.
Keenan.
Back out to Holton. McQuaid looking for the good shot.
Keenan's
and that
inside.
pass didn't work inside. Holton gets it back, though. And we've got a foul. It's going to go against, I believe, number 40, Mark Berry, for the Red Raiders.
Fairport foul on number 40, Mark Berry. That's his second.
We're going to see it again.
That is third foul for Berry.
There you see Holton making the move. He kind of loses control. He gets it back. There's Taggart, and the foul had already happened. Taggart didn't have a shot. Holton, Mike Holton in the line. A 1-point ball game with 1:52 left. Make it 2. Mike Holton.
Nice soft touch. Nice soft touch.
Holton in the second shot.
Got the roll. He got the roll.
Fairport trails by 3. There's 1:48 left in this ball game. What a great one it has been. There's Keenan off the glass. The shot misses. Kyle Reed tries to get it for Fairport, but there's Taggart at the other end. Jeff Fitch wants a timeout, Coach.
Yeah, he wants to settle his boys down here a little bit. He wants to get one. Make sure he gets a good
Jeff
shot.
Fitch was calling for the timeout, and he didn't get it. Fairport still has the ball, and there's a foul on Martzloff. And Brian Keenan is holding his shoulder, Coach. Brian Keenan is in a lot of pain.
He's had some shoulder problems before. He hurt himself a couple games this year.
Jeff Fitch is saying they need a timeout for the injury.
Into the game for McQuaid, number 14, John Kelly.
Ryan Keenan, you're down by 5 points. There's 1:20 to go.
He just went down hard on the floor, going for that loose ball. You know, that's just one good hustle, and unfortunately he came up injured.
Boy, you can see it hurts. Ryan Keenan in this ball game just about all the way. We are waiting for word. We'll be able to tell just as you whether Ryan Keenan in his 22-point game, he says he's okay. You can read his lips. He says, I'm okay.
He wants to be back in there.
He is a senior. He does not want his career to end on the sideline. They're still in the ball game. 5 points, 1:20 to go. There's a big miss by Kyle Reed and a big rebound by Fairport. A struggle, and there will be a jump ball. Fairport will keep it. The possession arrow to Fairport.
Good hustle by both teams on that.
Kyle Reed missed the front end of that one. And look who's back. And listen to the appreciation.
There's no way that Brian Keenan's going to miss the end of this one.
He's obviously hurting. He's still gesturing that shoulder. There's Todd Hallett with a shot that doesn't go. The tip doesn't go. And Greg Woodard with the rebound from McQuaid, and they've got a minute left and a 5-point lead.
Fairport's going to have to pick up now. They're going to have to use some fouls. They're going to have to make them shoot from the line.
There's a legitimate block, no call. Here comes Keenan.
He's going to go coast to coast.
He loses it, and Woodard is there to take it away, and we have a foul. (63-58). 47 seconds left to go. McQuaid looking to avenge its losses on the football field at the hands of Fairport earlier this decade. Greg Woodard, what a great feeling he says it would be to win it all.
For the school, it'd be great because, we've had a lot of, great players come out of McQuaid, and, we never won one. And it would be good that, there's no real big star, and, it'd be, a good team effort.
A good team effort We have seen 2 of them tonight. Greg Woodard at the line. Hits the first at 64-58, and he hits them both. Key free throws, a 7-point lead, 45 seconds to go. There's a Barry, and he walked with the ball, and Coach.
A little anxious in there. They want to take the ball to the hole and maybe create a foul situation. Got caught traveling.
McQuaid lost the title back in 1981. You'll remember Tom Sheehy, now with Virginia, a superstar. He had the flu. McQuaid lost it to Greece Arcadia. That was 7 years ago. They are 37 seconds away from winning this one. There's the foul on Brian Keenan. His 4th at this stage of the game. They've got to get him to the line and hope for the miracle. Look at Glenn Taggart. Can we get a shot of Glenn Taggart with the celebration?
A little early to do that. That's a little hot dog in him.
Mike Holton at the line for McQuaid. They lead by 7. There's 35 seconds to go. And that one rolls in off the front end. There's some of the celebrators for McQuaid. Brian Keenan, his shoulder hurting, talking to his teammates as Mike Holton shoots the other one and makes it.
I think that right there is going to put the nails in the coffin.
McQuaid will get it back, and if it didn't before, that did now. There you see Fairport setting up, hoping for something that could close a lead of 9 with only 30 seconds to go. It doesn't happen very often.
No, I don't think Fairport has a chance now. Time's against them.
We saw a spirited second half by both clubs. Fairport all of a sudden finding the game underneath the basket that really brought them back to within 1 point. They never took the lead, but they certainly made a great championship game of this one.
Yes, they did. They played hard. Made it a real tough ball game here for McQuaid.
Now the winner of this game, there's the tip in by Reed. The winner of this game goes on to represent Section 5 in the States.
I think you'll see Fairport try to get a quick steal on a trap here. If not, they'll foul right away because they have to preserve the clock as much as they can.
There's Jeff Fitch.
Who's got the win? Everybody got the who's your man? I know, who is your man? Martzloff. You've got Martzloff, right? You've got your man? Yeah, yes. Who's your man? Woodard. Taggart, Holton.
The other school. Coach Jeff Fitch in the huddle is signing the Fairport players.
Obviously, they're
their man.
If they can, deny everybody when your man gets it right across the wrist, hard. If you can't get it that way, closest man double team. Everybody rotate, try to get the open ball and put it in the hole. Do you have another timeout? If we score, we take another timeout. Hey, let's go out with the game. Listen now, if they foul us, no timeout, even after a foul shot, we still track. Hear me? If we score right off of this, no timeout until the second basket, then timeout. All right,
there's the instructions from Coach Jeff Fitch for Fairport. Here's a statistic, Coach. It tells a lot. Fairport 0 for 2 at the foul line. McQuaid 10 for 10 at the foul line. Those numbers representing the fourth quarter.
Well, you got to make those foul shots. They're key points at any time in the ball game. Unfortunately for Fairport, they've struggled all night at the line.
Greg Woodard inbound the ball. 27 seconds left. A 7-point McQuaid lead. And there's the foul. That'll go on Hardman. Only a second ticked off the clock. And if you're a Fairport fan, if you're a Fairport player, you don't say it's over. Even though, for the rest of us, it looks like it would take a miracle to come back.
Now, as they say, it's not over till the fat lady sings, but I think she's warming up her voice right now.
John Kelly at the line, son of the county legislator, Jack Kelly, and he hits that one to make it an 8-point lead for McQuaid.
Fairport only has one timeout left, so I don't believe that they have any kind of a chance now.
Ken Hartman will inbound it for the Red Raiders as we wind down. 26 seconds to go. Keenan tries to save as much of the clock as he can, feeds Kyle Reed underneath. Reed up, the shot is good. Now we'll look for the quick foul. Woodard manages to avoid being touched, feeds Scott Martzloff underneath, and there was a travel on Martzloff. Fairport will get it back.
Not enough time left, Doug. There's not enough time.
No, there's not. It's 69-62, 11 seconds to go. Keenan trying to save as much of the clock as he can. Again, there is no three-pointer, but he was in the range. And there is a timeout from the Red Raiders. 69-64, 5 points, a margin, and 6 seconds left to go.
I'll tell you, Fairport's given everything they got here down the stretch.
Well, I think they gave everything they got in the second half. They certainly came out. We're going to see Brian Keenan with that long jumper there. And he's the kind of player, at the end of a game, you're down, you're up. It doesn't matter. You want him to have his hands on the ball. 9 times out of 10, his shot is going to be a good one.
You see him wide open. All right, now listen. They're down 5 points. If you throw the ball down back
they got no timeout.
they got no timeout.
If we don't foul, we
Listen to me. You're going to look for Taggart. Because if you throw it down here, as long as you don't throw it out of bounds, keep it on the court.
Put backspin on
Even if they get the ball and shoot it, don't foul. Sit down.
Words to live by with 6 seconds to go on a 5-point lead. Don't foul.
If you don't have anything, time out. 1, 2, 3.
Joe Marchese, the McQuaid coach in his first year, battling on the other bench, a 19-year veteran at Fairport in Jeff Fitch. Marchese in his first year is going to win the Class AAA sectional title, barring an absolute miracle. Greg Woodard inbounding the ball for McQuaid, finds Martzloff.
They got a 5-second violation. No time off the clock.
A second did tick off the clock, and
they'll have to put
Kyle
that back on.
Kyle Reed is pointing that out. Says it shouldn't have. Jeff Fitch pointing it out, and they will probably put that one back on McQuaid. Joe Williams is trying to call a timeout.
Even if Fairport scores here, McQuaid will not have to put the ball back in bounds. The clock will run out.
69-64 the score. You have seen a great ball game between the Red Raiders and McQuaid, looking for their first basketball Section 5 title.
In the game for Fairport, number 40, Martha Berry.
There are 6 seconds to go. You don't stop plotting the strategy. And Jeff Fitch, who last won this in 1975, is giving some final words to his players. This will probably be their last chat.
One thing McQuaid doesn't want to do is allow Fairport to score and foul the man, because that will stop the clock. They need the clock to go because Fairport has no timeouts, therefore there's no way they can possibly win the ball game.
So you got to go into it to draw the foul, get the bucket.
The Fairport fans give their Red Raiders a standing ovation as they break out of this huddle and say thanks for a season that up to now has been perfect. McQuaid, their only loss to East in the regular season, but they also beat the same Orientals twice, including the semifinal game that got them here. Greg Woodard. There's Glenn Taggart. He's going to accent this one. No, he won't.
Big time
but it doesn't matter. 69-64, and let's enjoy some of the celebration on the floor of the Rochester War Memorial.
Joe, great job. First time out, championship. How does it feel?
I can't even begin to express how I feel. This is something that we felt we could do right from the very beginning of the season. We set it as our goal. And, you know, it takes breaks along the way. The Webster game, you know, we came from behind. To have a group of kids like this, if your first team ever, I don't know how I could ever match them.
Joe, Fairport jumped out on you real early. I thought the key to the game was you took the early timeout. From that point on, it seemed like your team took control. What did you tell them at that timeout?
Well, in the locker room before the game, we said, look, in a game like this with the tension and all of the press and everything, we got to expect that there's going to be spurts. And we said we got to keep our composure. They might get a spurt on us. We'll get it back. Don't press. And that's exactly what happened.
Joe, once again, congratulations. Well deserved. Your team played great all year.
Thank you
once again,
much.
Nice job.
Coach Dick O'Toole, 69-64. You see Jeff Fitch just a moment ago saying thanks to Fairport. And, you know, you look over at that bench. Right now you see McQuaid doing the celebrating, and boy, do they deserve it. They played a heck of a ball game tonight. Glenn Taggart with 26 points, Greg Woodard with 20. We will be back to the War Memorial for some more celebrating right after this. A noisy floor here at the Rochester War Memorial. Welcome back, Coach Dick O'Toole. It has been a pleasure working with you and a pleasure watching a fine basketball game tonight.
Doug, the pleasure is all mine. We got to see an excellent ball game. Two great teams. They fought hard all the way. I'll tell you, McQuaid won the game, but there's no losers. And anybody that doesn't respect Fairport and their basketball team, they don't know anything about the game of basketball.
There's certainly a lot of respect deserved. Their first loss tonight in the championship game, but they had a heck of a season. Jeff Fitch leading his troops here to the finals for the first time since 1975. Joe Marchese here for the first time ever. We got to say we saw a great ball game, and probably worth mentioning that after the game you saw a lot of the Fairport and McQuaid players going up and giving each other the hug, the congratulations, and it really does one's heart good to see that kind of sportsmanship out there.
It certainly does. It's great to see that. That's what sports in high school are all about.
These guys have played together in the summer, and they met here for the Section 5 AAA Championship. We hope you enjoyed it. The final score, 69-64. Doug Emblidge for Coach Dick O'Toole. Thank you for joining us. Live from the Rochester War Memorial, this has been the final game in the 1987 Section 5 High School Basketball Tournament. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Columbia Banking, where 4% IRA loans are available, and by Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers Restaurant. This has been a NewsCenter 13 Sports exclusive.